I'm hearing other things. I apologize, live TV. We've got strong winds right now. You can see we just had another hurricane-force wind gust in the past half an hour. As it continues to move north, it's going to lose its form and its intensity. The winds right now gusting near the center between about 80 and 90 miles an hour, and we'll see. It's gone off a couple of times and come back on. This time it's been on for a while. In the distance, I see more power on. So it's kind of sporadic here because, again, some of the move through Shreveport, up towards Pine Bluff, and across the state of Arkansas. Right now, about 80% of the state of Louisiana under a flash flood warning. Many of those.
And there's some more video for you just showing sheets of rain and the very strong hurricane force winds that came through Lake Charles, Louisiana. Winds gusting 120, 130. So we just want you to be aware of that. We do have numerous flash flood warnings in effect. We've already seen anywhere from as much as 2 to 6 inches of rainfall across this region, especially with those heavy. Cannot be ruled out in this situation, and we do think there will be another tornado watch coming at around 8 o'clock this morning for areas of Arkansas and pushing into Mississippi as well. Before, up towards Little Rock, you get those heavier rain bands moving in, and we've already got a surplus for the year. So waterlogged ground plus a tropical system coming through does not bode well. This system is moving right along. It's not going to sit out and stall like Harvey did.
No, it's not, thank goodness, but I can tell you a lot of Arkansans certainly thrown for a and perhaps brought in when the property was first installed. But one thing I do want to walk over and show you, I know we don't have a lot of time here. You can see the sheet metal, of course, that's been bent a lot. Well, that is how strong Laura came through Lake Charles, Louisiana, enough to take this awning and bend it down. I saw a bit.
Yeah.
But is it reliable?
Uh-huh, and secure.
You should consider making a big deal about it.
Bigger?
I said bigger.
Oh, bigger deal.
Astronauts, everything. Yum. It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. I put that on everything.
Commander, the wheel shark gloves, light, flaky, buttery club.
State Farm?
I don't believe in accepting help, but I'll make an exception.
Here's the deal, Russell. There's no special rate. These prices are for everyone.
With the oak in
in less than 2 minutes to get those warm, fuzzy feelings again. Take breakfast back. Find it in the egg aisle. Morning, noon, night. Indulgent, delicious, irresistible.
Make a big difference, like nutritious fruit smoothies. However you healthy? Naked.
It only takes a second for an everyday item
together. And once we did that, we realized his greatest adventure is just beginning.
Welcome to the most
Category 4 storm moves overhead by the name of Hurricane Laura. Meteorologist Tevin Wooten joining you live from Lake Charles, Louisiana. If you remember how we started the day, very early, of course. Signs right here. Right here. This is why it's so important to make sure, if you're going to be out in something like this, the light poles are fine, but it looks like the lights themselves are wilting down or have been bent down towards the ground, that coming from the wind. Right on top of where some of our meteorologists were doing their live shots, but luckily, in that moment, we were able to get to safety as well. And also, Lake Charles. Let's go to Alexandria, Louisiana now, because they're still seeing significant impact from Laura, and that's where we find Mike Seidel. Still seeing significant impact from Laura, and that's where we find Mike Seidel. And Mike, can you take me through what has changed?
Whoa! Did you hear that? Like a gunshot? Probably some kind of power issue down the road. That's the second time we've heard that, which sounds like just fast, and we're about 35 or 40 miles away, so that's probably what's just come through here in the past 8 to 10 minutes, just rocking everything here in Alexandria. '85 miles an hour. About a half an hour ago, we had a gust of 74 miles an hour. And you get a sense of how strong this gust is right here. Probably pushing 50. The worst of it now heading into Natchitoches and up towards Shreveport. Now, Shreveport, you're going to be on the side. That doesn't mean it's going to be any less, except the farther you go. To get the power back on, because they can't go up in their bucket trucks with winds, more than about 15 or 20 miles an hour. So the power crews are staged all over the area.
But it looks like that eastern eye wall is kind of closing in on you right now as Laura is moving just off to your west. Right now as Laura is moving just off to your west.
Minutes ago, we gusted to 74, which was our second highest gust below the 85 this morning. The 85 was between about
Mike,
and outdoors you don't get that whistling and that the roaring sound so much unless it's blowing harder. There's another pretty good gust coming. Signs on restaurants last night and businesses saying we're closed tomorrow because of Hurricane Laura, and that's the best way to take this.
Are now 100-mile-per-hour winds, but it's still a Cat 2. It's a Category 2 hurricane that has moved inland now, moving north at 15 miles per hour. The center of this hurricane
That entire area has been covered with the trash can, or covered with water. But another thing too that I saw on the other side, parts of pergolas down. But this is sort of what we're finding littered all throughout this area. And these are things that were not here pre-Laura. Trees are down all throughout this area here. You can see the doors, most of those glass doors.
I'm off to our south in Natchitoches, where you're getting into some of the worst of the weather. The rainfall there has already put down close to 2.5 inches of rain, and they're gusting their winds to about 50.
Here, so that was pretty impressive, and that's the strongest consistent wind we've had here so far this morning. We've got a long way to go with Laura. It's heading up.
Book 2 separate qualifying stays and earn a free night. The open road is open again.
Naked. This summer, we've all got miles to make up. Miles to the job site, to the campsite,
and the chili cook-off, rough roads all the way down. I drove there on these Cooper Discoverer and Duramax tires. You know, they're made with the durability of off-road tires, but for on
student loans from lenders you can trust. In 3 minutes, get actual pre-qualified rates from multiple lenders. Checking rates doesn't impact your credit score.
You don't even have to remember which filter I need. Just go to filtersfast.com. Their fast filter finder finds the right fridge filters, air filters, plus air purifiers.
Channel.